Hey guys, welcome to our tribe call tonight. I am so excited. These are my absolute favorite calls. I love being able to hear everyone's stories, and that's exactly what we're going to hear tonight. You get to hear from some of my own coaches and some of my tribe sister coaches tonight, and get to hear why they're coaching, why they overcame objections, why most likely they were a naysayer just like I was at one point and decided to go for it. And you're going to find that we have 4 different personalities. We have 4 different age groups. We have people with lots of kids. We have people with no kids on our team. We've got farming. We got nurses, teachers, stay-at-home moms, and there's no perfect mold. And that's the whole point of this call, is for you guys to understand that this is something that anyone can do. And with a little bit of heart and hustle, literally, like, you're going to find we're just your average Joe girls that, wanted a little bit more out of life. And so here we are coaching. And I'm super excited. So tonight, I'm Ashley Watts, and I'll start us off tonight. And then we get to hear from Brooke, and then Lisa, and then Lindsay. I'll let them introduce themselves kind of as they present to you guys tonight. So feel free to ask any questions. There's a chat box there if you have questions along the way. You are more than welcome at the very end. If you're comfortable enough, you can unmute yourself and you can feel free to ask questions just right here on the call. If you're too nervous to do either one of those, you are more than welcome to message your coach who invited you guys and message them with any questions. Guys, we're an open book. We'll tell you anything you want to know. We're not going to hide any information from you or anything like that. So I'm just going to dive right in to me and kind of my story and why I'm here coaching. I will hit my 5-year mark in January, which is like unbelievable to even think. I started my health and fitness journey October 1st. So that'll be almost 5 years ago that I started my own health and fitness journey. I was over 200 pounds when I started my own health and fitness journey. And just to backtrack a little bit with that, I was over 200 pounds. I was miserable from the inside out. I was dealing with depression. I got out of bed because I had to. I had a job that I had to get to, but on the weekends it was like sweats and my husband saying, "Do you want anything? Like, can I get you out of bed?" Like, that kind of stuff. I was literally living day to day, but I hadn't always been that way. I was a very athletic person. I never had to worry about my weight growing up. I ran cross country. I played competitive soccer, for 14 years. Like, I was very active, which meant I could put anything in my mouth and it didn't matter. I was a size 5 when I got married. So, I was the typical, girl when I got married. And so I swear the weight came on overnight. I started dealing with miscarriages and infertility. My husband and I together, we've had 7 miscarriages together, and it was rough, and I ate my feelings away. I learned how much of an emotional eater I was during that process, and I swear I looked in the mirror one day, and I remember thinking, "Who are you? Like, I don't even recognize you." And I remember, looking in the mirror thinking, "Well, you did this to yourself. Like, you're always going to be that way. Like, just get used to it. It's your new body. Enjoy life, and everything else." And so I started the yo-yo dieting process. You name it, I've probably tried it. I've cut calories. I've cut food groups. I've cut everything. And I saw results temporarily. But when I was in a caloric deficit, I became a beast mom because I was starving, and my kids were seeing the reflection of what it was like to withdraw food and be just starving all the time. You name it, I've done it. And I knew better. Ironically, my background in education, I actually have a bachelor's in health education. So it wasn't that I didn't take nutrition classes in college and anatomy and physiology and all these things. It wasn't that I didn't understand that I was doing it wrong. It was that I was at a point where I just was desperate and I would do anything to feel better. And the truth is, I would lose the 20 pounds or I'd lose 10, 20 pounds, and I'd look in the mirror and I'd still not recognize that girl looking back. So, and I always tell my own challengers this: what good is a 10, 15, 20, 50, 100-pound weight loss if you don't love that girl who's looking back at you? And the physical appearance is just one part of my story. And so I said no several times to my coach. She's one of my best friends in the whole entire world. In fact, I saw her today, and it was amazing to see her. But I said no so many times because I was afraid of failure. I was afraid of diving in and failing again. Like, why did I want to spend $140 on a challenge pack and have one program at the time? Now you can spend $20 to get every single program available. But why would I spend that money on myself when I failed at every other, not just diet, but I was failing at everything in life, man. Like, that's what it came down to. I felt like I was just failing at everything I tried. I was failing at being a mom. I was failing at getting out of bed and getting ready for the day. Like, I felt like a complete failure. So I said no. And I said, no, 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 no. And one day I'd reached out to her. She also has had several miscarriages. And I reached out to her about some testing and just explained to her how miserable I was in life. And she again approached me about, I have an accountability group. There's several of us who have been through similar situations who are dealing with depression and anxiety like you are, and we're taking it one day at a time. And I thought, there's got to be an end to this. I've got to learn how to feel better about myself from the inside out. And one of the things that struck me is she explained to me that we weren't just going to work on our physical appearance. That was going to be like a byproduct of what we were doing. But we were going to learn how to love ourselves and become a better person from the inside out. So, she taught me about this thing called personal development, which I thought was cuckoo. I was like, I'll just read a quote on Pinterest, call it good. I was not a believer. And I slowly started diving into that, and I started feeling a little bit better and setting a little bit of a goal. And I remember reading this book called The Compound Effect, talking about how these small changes were going to make a big difference in my life. I might not see a difference in the scale tomorrow, but if I keep it up, I will in a week, in a month, in a year. And that's exactly what happened when I participated in a 60-day challenge. I lost you can clearly see what I lost in my transformation. It was 20 inches off my body in 60 days. But I remember looking in the mirror thinking, this is who you are. This is the girl I recognize. I remember laughing in bed one night with my husband and almost not recognizing the sound and thinking, that's me. That's like my real laugh. And I love that in this picture, you can see a girl who was miserable, who was forcing a smile, showered. Now, let me tell you, this is a showered picture of me right here, all ready for the day. And you can see how crappy I felt on the inside. Here's after a workout. I'm sweaty, I'm nasty, but I'm happy. Genuinely happy from the inside out. So my coach said, you are amazing. You have these amazing results. Why don't you share them? And again, I was like, no thanks. Like, that MLM screams yuck. Like, I'm not going to be in your pyramid thing. And that's exactly what I thought it was this disgusting pyramid yuck, I posted today on Facebook. Like, I literally, months before that, had posted, I used to be a first grade teacher and we wanted to be at home with my kids. And financially, my husband was finishing up school and it just wasn't going to work. And I remember posting on Facebook one night saying, does anyone know of any stay-at-home jobs? I don't want any MLMs. I'm good there. And, of course, there's really not a whole lot of options out there. Even with a degree, there wasn't a whole lot of options out there. So, of course, I had some MLMs approach me. I was like, that's all yuck. No, I'm good. So my coach approached me about doing just like a coach basics, kind of understand what coaching is about. And I thought, okay, you're my friend, I'll do it, but I'm not going to really participate. But as I got to thinking and as I got to talking to my husband about it, I thought, how could I not share this with someone? I'm truly happy. My life has changed. The relationships around me are improved. How can I not share this? I am no one special. I'm someone who struggles with infertility and miscarriages. I was a yo-yo dieter. I'm addicted to M&Ms. Like, who am I to tell someone else how to eat when I'm still learning how to eat and how to work out and how to love myself? How can I do that? So I thought, the only goal I want to do is pay for my Shakeology every month. Like, if I could get my Shakeology paid for, bam, like that would be amazing. And so I told my husband's like, do whatever makes you happy. You know, you're on the right track. I see my wife that I married, you know, and here we are. You know, he supported me along the way. And that initial goal of paying for my Shakeology happened in the first month of my business. And I thought, like, all I did was share who I was. Like, I just shared what I've been doing. That's all I did. And I realized I became relatable to a lot of women who were also suffering from miscarriage and infertility, who were also struggling with yo-yo dieting, who were also struggling with wanting to be at home and having to be out in the work field, and they wanted to be at home. And so here I am coaching. And it's been an amazing journey. People ask me all the time, like, why I do it. First of all, I want you to tell you, I would do this if I got paid $0. Like, I would do this because I'm happy. I get up and I'm a better person because I get to open my heart and share it with so many people. I get to be a part of other people's stories and knowing that they are changing the way their story will end. That it's not going to end with them being unhappy and miserable and suffering from diabetes and passing it on and feeling that guilt. I get to help be a small little part of them, you know, changing a little bit about them to reflect not only them, but their spouses and their kids, and you know, just kind of trickle down. I do this for my family. I would much rather enjoy this view right here of my little boys making breakfast together, showing them how to make toast in the morning, than being in this classroom right here. I loved teaching. My heart is still into it. It's back to school time. Like, I want to buy everything on the shelves that, you know, I could put in my classroom. I loved it. And it was like something that I was actually good at, you know, like I enjoyed every minute of it. And people ask me all the time if I'll ever go back. And the truth is, I don't know. But I never want to be in a situation where I'm forced to enter into that classroom. I want it to be a decision that I make because I want it, not because of a situation, a financial situation that there's no other option than for me to walk into that classroom again and teach, especially while my kids are young. It's been an amazing journey to know that, you know, this is just like an income progression here, to know that I am making more money than I did even in a classroom setting a month. And I'm on bed rest right now. I am pregnant. My water broke at 22 weeks. I am literally housebound. I was in the hospital for 8 days. And I still was bringing home an income because I had set myself up the last 4 years of a business and built a business and showed up with heart and passion and desire so that this could happen for us and our family. The other reason why I do it, and people think I'm crazy, but traveling the world has been pretty phenomenal for us. My husband would travel and spend all our money on travel. And I'm the kind of person who's like, no, I like my couch, or I want a new floor, or, you know, I want this or that because it lasts long. You know, I feel like it's just a week is burning up this money. And, you know, obviously it doesn't outweigh the memories that you make. That money will never replace the memories you make. But to say that I've been to the Dominican Republic, I've been to Mexico, Jamaica, Haiti, New Orleans, like Nashville, like we have traveled, and like going on a cruise, like all this has been expense paid because I earned it. And so I don't have to worry about spending our own money to travel. My husband gets to go with me and we get to spend this time. We're going on the cruise next month, and one of our bucket lists was to bring our own kids on this, you know, trip that we earned through Beachbody. And so we're taking our kids to Jamaica and Haiti with us on a cruise that we would never even think about with our kids this young, thinking they might not remember all these memories. And so I show up every single day for these things, but I show up every day because I'm a better person from the inside out in every single aspect of my life. I have these amazing girls that you're going to hear from too. They're in my life every single day that I get to interact with and love so much. Like my heart like bursts when I get to like just be around them. So that's why I coach, and I'm just going to turn it right on over to Miss Brooke and let her tell you her story.
Okay, can you hear me? I have a really stuffy nose, so I'm just gonna apologize right away. But I think it's really funny when Ashley said that she would coach whether she was making money or not, because I just think that when I feel the exact same way, but I just wonder like what other people think, because it's weird when somebody says that. It makes no sense until you're like in that situation. Anyway, so I feel the exact same way. But just a quick little backstory. I had never heard of coaching until I moved here to Utah. We lived in Texas before. It's a long story and I won't go all the way into it, but we were doing really well financially in Texas, but my husband was super, super depressed and wanted to leave his job. And we argued about it for several years. And then finally one day I had the impression that we needed to move here. And it was super hard for me, but I did it because I knew that that's what I was supposed to do. So we moved here and took a $120,000 pay cut a year to start our own business. And things started off great. I mean, we were getting government assistance. I got pregnant in Texas while we were living with my parents right before we moved here. And so like we were getting help that way, but like we were happy. Things were getting better with my husband. He wasn't so depressed. And I left kind of like on a spiritual high. And so I just thought things were going great when we left. And then we came here and things started kind of slowly setting in that this was my life and I was not what I was used to. And our marriage started struggling, and my husband's business, for reasons that I won't go into, we decided to walk away from it. And so my husband had to go back to working for somebody. And that has been super, super hard on him, and in turn, super hard on me. And I found myself a couple years ago really wondering like who I was and what I was doing. I don't know if I could say that I've really dealt with hard depression for myself, but it definitely wasn't myself. And insert coaching, my coach, kind of talked to me about it several times. And I was just always like, I'm out. I have zero desire to do that. I wasn't really in the position I thought mentally to do anything like that. I wasn't working out ever. Just all these things. Why would I coach, And then one day she asked me again and I was like, sure, I'll coach. And she asked me to purchase a challenge pack. And I was like, nope, I don't got no money. I'm going to do this as cheap as I can. So I actually went into coaching, paid the $40 to become a coach, and was like, I am not going to sell Shakeology. I am not going to do that. I'm not even going to try it. And then I started coaching after a month or two, and I realized that I'm a dork. Why would I coach if I didn't try the products? So I started trying the products. And the picture right here of me was a couple months later, I did my first program. I think I signed up in November, and this was January. So this was my first program. This was 21 Day Fix, just one round of 21 Day Fix. And I lost 10 pounds and 10 inches in those 21 days. And I started like seeing a difference in me. And so that's kind of what started the coaching bandwagon. Since then, I've been a coach, I guess it'll be almost 3 years in a couple months. And I've mostly done it as a hobby coach. There's been a couple months in there where I've tried a little bit harder, but mostly it's just been hobby. And I can't explain the difference from 3 years ago till now that there is in me. My husband just walked in, and that's embarrassing, so I had to be quiet for a minute. Anyway, so it's been a journey of getting to where I am now, but I started this journey with 2 kids, I think. let's see, Merrick's 3, I don't know, 2 or 3, whatever. I have so many, I can't even keep track of them. And I wasn't working out. And now I wasn't working out consistently, just random, I'd go off and on. I was the typical yo-yo with working out, not working out, working out, not working out. I'd never followed a meal plan before, a 21-day fix. That was the first time that I was able to figure out how to do it. Anyway, so I slowly over time with that and with personal development, which I was one of those that was like, personal development, like I don't need to read a book. That's stupid. In fact, my husband still feels the same way. I keep trying to explain to him, just read a flipping book. It'll change your life. But he just thinks I'm a dork. So I just do it on my own. But it has changed. These books have changed my life. Personal development has changed my life. Like I can't even explain it. But now I get messages all the time from people. So I have 4 kids, 3 girls, 1 boy. The youngest is 15 months, and I am pregnant with number 5, due in 4 months. And this is the first pregnancy that I've actually worked out throughout my pregnancy. And people keep asking me, how do you do it? How do you do it? You want to know how? Coaching. Like, I can't even give you another answer. I feel like people all the time think that I'm like super salesy because that's my answer. But you guys, it's true. Like, that is what has gotten me to where I am now and to where I'm actually consistent, and not only consistent in coaching and in working out and in eating better. I am not perfect. But also in just everyday life. Like, I'm a better mom. I actually show up and do things better. Like, I plan out my day, and things are so much more organized. I can't explain it. Like, it's like with every single kid, I've just gotten better, but it's really been since coaching has entered my life that these things have changed. Anyway, so that's where Better Me has come in. Now, even though I have so many trials in my life and things that I'm going through that are hard, it's different. It's not like I feel like I'm drowning in sorrow, but that it's okay. I'm going to get through this. And so it's just like a different kind of lift me up experience. Anyway, so there's that. Financial impact is always nice, obviously. Like I said, I've done it as a hobby coach most of the time, but since month 1, even as a hobby coach, I have always paid for my Shakeology. But over the last 2.5 months, it may have even been 3 months, I have started actually trying and to build a business. And in the first month, I was able to make enough to cover our mortgage. I always tell people that. And then I tell people that, don't worry, I didn't pay my mortgage. I let Josh pay my mortgage, and I just pocketed the money. And then last month, I was able to make enough to pay my mortgage plus my car payment and have a little bit extra for other things. And so like that is huge, because guess what I'm doing? I'm just sharing my story. Like, people are just, it's not salesy. You know what I mean? Like, I just get up, do my workout, share it on social media, share my personal development, and share my life and my crazy children. And I don't even know why people watch my life, in all honesty, but whatever. It's not that exciting. But anyway, and that is like where the income is coming from. I'm just helping other people know that they can do it too. Anyway, so that is where I am financially. Like I said, I'm just really starting to get into coaching, where I want to coach full-time, and my full-time on a part-time basis. And my goal, which I kind of shared this on Facebook a little bit earlier, it's kind of scary to say it out loud, but I'm going to freaking do it. So I'm just going to say it. My goal is to match Josh's income within 1 year. Well, by the end of next summer. So a little bit less than a year. That is my goal. That is what I'm working towards. So watch me. If you're here to hear, I'll be there. And then the next thing that I love is inspiring events. Beachbody has so many different events to go to, quarterly, calls every week, that you can listen to, big events like when I went to Nashville, for Summit, like all of these things. And you're just surrounded by people that inspire you always, all day long. And then our actual team as well, every single one of those ladies are inspiring, like, and they keep you going. They show up, and so you show up, or you show up, so they show up, and you help each other. Lindsay is on the call right now, and I was struggling so hard to flip and get up a while back, and she was like, I'll just text you in the morning. And she did. She texted me at like freaking 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, who in the flipping world is texting me right now? And it was Lindsay. And guess what? She's the one who got me back into, like, that's all I needed, was just to know that somebody was like helping me, you know? And so that, it's just an amazing community of women and like-minded people that are wanting to better their lives. So that is why I coach. I, like Ashley said, I would do it whether I made money or not. And I've told Josh that a million times. I'm not stopping. I'm going to be 80 years old and I'm going to be a flipping coach. You just watch, even if I'm broke. That's it.
You good, Lindsay?
Yeah, you want to move the slide down?
Oh, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was like, I think it's me, but maybe it's not.
My bad.
Wait, I still don't see it. Oh, there we go. Okay, now I see it. Okay, so I started coaching after I had my first baby. Just to backtrack a little bit, when I was in high school, I was a dancer. I've never, like literally never touched a weight in my entire life. Cardio was like run around the gym because your coach tells you have to. And yeah, just not for me. So I had never worked out, nothing. Like I was not into fitness at all. And so I had my first baby, and as a new mom, after I had her, I'm like, oh my gosh, like what the heck has happened to my body? I never considered myself an overweight person. I just felt good. Like I don't know, I just thought I was fine. And now, like looking back at pictures, I'm like, gosh dang, like I wish I would have worked out then too. But anyway, so I had my baby, and I hated the way I looked. I hated the way I felt. So I'm like, okay, I need to do something. So I was talking to my sister, and she was like, hey, you should try PiYo. And I'm like, okay, what's PiYo? Like she was into like the whole fitness videos and all of that. And I'm like, hey, what's PiYo? I don't even know what it is. So she sent me this link for like some Chinese place, and I bought it because I thought, she's like, oh, it's cheaper. So like, if you know me and my family, we're like, good deals, heck yeah, that's what I want. Anyway, and so I ordered it, and I had to wait like 4 weeks to get it, and I was super bummed out because I was ready to start working on me and my body and everything. And so once I got it, I ended up doing PiYo and literally fell in love with it. And so I was talking to my sister one day, and she's like, oh, I have a coach. You should buy Shakeology. I'm like, okay. Like I didn't know anything about Shakeology. I didn't even know about Beachbody. And so I'm like, okay, yeah. And she's like, you know, it'll help you lose weight and blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, that's what I'm trying to do. So yeah, let's do that. And I'd never done like any diets. I think I'd done like Jillian Michaels. I have her duty still, I think. And I think I did it like 2 days. And then in college, I would do it, and my neighbor would come over and do it with me. And I remember one time specifically, this is like off subject, but I lived on an upstairs floor, and our neighbors underneath were like banging on the ceiling, so my floor. And so we walked down there, and I couldn't even get back up the stairs because my legs hurt so bad. And so I'm like, screw working out. I do not like that. But anyway, so I got some Shakeology, and she's like, this is my coach, which is Ashley, and pretty much just left me high and dry. And I'm like, okay. So then Ashley was the one that was like, this is what Shakeology is. PiYo is actually part of Beachbody, and you could have got it from Beachbody. I'm like, oh, well, I didn't know that. Like that, I didn't know that. And I actually signed up as a coach because I wanted Shakeology cheaper because, like I said, we're all about deals in my family. So then Ashley was like, yeah, you can do this whole coaching thing, and you can, make some money from home. You can work on yourself, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, all right, 10-4, sign me up. So that's how I started coaching. And in my little transformation picture, I'm also on my Instagram. So my Instagram people, you can't see my transformation picture, but I'll share it later. But so my first transformation picture is after I did PiYo, after I did 21 Day Fix, and then it was a year later. So then I went like full force when I went into coaching at first. And then I started to get the mom guilt of, oh my gosh, I'm on my phone all the time. I am paying attention to strangers instead of my kid. I'm not paying attention to my husband, blah, 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 blah. So I actually quit coaching for a little while. And I think it was until like the next January. And I remember sitting on the floor with my husband and I'm like, I need this the master's hammer and chisel. I need to get that workout because I want to do that workout. And I promise I'm going to really try hard with this coaching, doing the whole wife thing. And he's like, okay, go for it. Do whatever you need to do. So I ended up getting the master's hammer and chisel in a challenge pack because that's how it was. They didn't have Beachbody on demand at the time. So you had to pick one program. So I got that, and that's my transformation on the right. And after I did that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have abs. I didn't even know I could have abs. It's crazy, And so then, like, once I saw those abs, my mind was like, oh my gosh, Lindsay, see how good you can be. Like, see how awesome you can transform your body because you've never done this for yourself. And so then, of course, you get freaking healthy and hot and you get pregnant, right? So then I had my second baby, and I did work out a little bit throughout my pregnancy. It was like 2 times a week. And it was like Country Heat and the pre-pregnancy or, whatever that pregnancy thing is on Beachbody on Demand. So then I had Brooklyn. I had my second. And then I started working out a little bit more, blah, 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 blah. So now I'm here. And in January of this year, of 2018, is when I'm like, okay, I moved to a new town. I got out of the town that I wanted to truly get out of and really to truly make me happy. So we got out of there. And I'm like, once I got here, I'm like, okay, I'm going to work on me and I'm going to work on personal development and all of that because I was the same as all of you other girls that have said, I'm not doing personal development. Like, yeah, and I would read some and I'd be like, oh, that's a really good idea, yeah. But I would never apply it, right? So then I did the 80-day obsession and I fell in love with Beachbody. And honestly, once 80-day obsession came out was when I was like, oh my gosh, this is truly for me. This is 100% for me because look at my transformation. Look at my transformation from the inside. And for me to be able to be like today, Ashley's like, hey, anybody want to do a coach op with me? And I'm like, yes, I want to. I was like, I don't know, probably 6 hours ago, maybe. That would not have been me. I would have been like, man, no, someone else can do that. I'm not going to do that. So the transformation is, yes, like my body's transformed for sure. But a lot of it is how I feel mentally, how my confidence has changed, how, like a big thing right now is it's okay that you have an extra 20, 50 pounds or whatever because you've had kids. And that's one of my main reasons for Beachbody and for coaching is because I want to teach other people that it's 100% great that you've had kids, but you don't have to be miserable because you've had kids. Your body has already went through all of that. and it can snap back. Like, and it's amazing what your body can do. So that's what my big thing is, the transformations. And then the relationship with my husband is like, oh my gosh, so much better because I'm happy. I feel happy. I feel good in my own skin. And like, everybody has fights, right? But I don't even remember a last fight. And that's amazing. I love that feeling. And I love being able to talk to my girlfriends and be like, I don't know. I don't remember our last fight. Sorry. You know, like I feel, oh my gosh, I love it. And then the energy that I have and the energy for my kids is I can play on their trampoline. I can do jump rope with them. I can ride bikes with them. I can literally run with them. Like, we were racing, me and Elsie were racing in the backyard today. And I love feeling that. Like, I can actually do it. And heck yeah, I'm gonna actually like race you because I'm gonna win right now, because I know when you get in high school, you're gonna totally beat me. But when you're in high school, you better believe that I am still going to race you, because I'm still gonna be doing this coaching thing because of the accountability that it gives me. And that's what has always pushed me and motivated me to keep pushing play, to keep following my meal plans, is because I know all my other girls right here that get on like the Zoom and stuff to work out, they're all doing it. And I watch all of your stories and I'm like, crap, I gotta get my workout in today. Lisa did hers, Brooke did hers, Ashley, she's on bed rest, so she can't do hers. But like, I have to push play. Okay. So it's the accountability too. You know, the challenge groups, I never actually was in an actual challenge group as just a customer. So I don't know what that's actually like as a customer, but I feel like I'm in my own challenge group all the time because I have my sister coaches that help me with that. And then this last spring, June, I think is when we did it, me and Lisa and Brooke, and a couple other people did the Dirty Dash in Utah. And normally I'd be like, no, it's too far away. I'm not going. Sorry. Count me out on that. Because any type of meeting or like events or like summit, for me right now with my kids so little, I can't go. I just can't go. My heart will not let me go. And that's okay, because you don't have to go to those things to be a coach. You know, I don't feel like it changes me from anybody else. Like, yeah, I would love to go. And once they're older, then heck yeah, I'm going. So when this Dirty Dash came up, I'm like, okay, get out of your comfort zone. You're going to do this, you know? And so I did, and we did the Dirty Dash, and it was so much fun. And it was fun because I finally got to meet some of my sister coaches. So that's kind of why I coach. And then also for like the finances wise, I don't do it because I need to really help with the bills or anything like that. But I want to be able to pay for my kids' preschool, because both my girls are going to go to 2 years of preschool. And I want to be able to pay for their dances, like, because Elsie does dance, and I assume Brooklyn's probably going to also. And I want to save up a savings for my kids so that my husband doesn't have to, he's an underground miner, and I don't want him to have to do underground mining for the rest of his life. Like, literally, people will mine forever, and I want to be able to pay for my kids' college, but I don't want to make my husband do that job forever. And so I want to save up for my kids so that they can go to college. And Elsie the other day told me she wants to be a doctor. So I better start saving like big time, right? And so that's one of the reasons I did that. And yeah, I think that's all I got. So I love coaching. That's fine.
Okay, Lisa, you're up. I remembered to change the slide for you.
Thank you. Yeah, if you guys ever get a chance to do the Dirty Dash, do it, because it was so much fun. It really was. But when you go down you go across a rope bridge and then have to go down that huge slide, don't land right on your butt, because it hurts. I am still suffering from that. My tailbone, I think I cracked it or something. So be careful, but do it because it's so much fun. Okay, so I'm Lisa. And then I also almost ran over Lindsay when we were going down the big, huge water slide. But I warned you. I did warn you. I called your name. But anyway, okay, so I have 2 kids. I started coaching almost a year and a half ago, I think. It was November of 2016 when I first signed up. And before Beachbody ever came into my life, through high school, junior high, I was a major tomboy, loved sports, very similar to Ashley. I did basketball for 14 years and was just very sports oriented and never paid attention to my nutrition because I played sports all day. What did I have to eat healthy for? And so when I was in high school, I tore my ACL and I started gaining weight because I couldn't play my sports anymore and I didn't pay attention to my nutrition. So that's the first time I really started gaining weight and started having problems. Then I got into college and I started getting back into the sports scene. I was in basketball. I was a dance minor for ballroom and I lost all that weight and was feeling really good about myself. But again, wasn't really focusing on nutrition. And so as soon as I got married and I changed my major, I decided to change my major to early childhood special education. I stopped having the time to really do any of that stuff. And so I started slowly gaining all that back. A week before my wedding, I had to get my dress altered because I went from a size 8 to a size 10. I wasn't overweight necessarily, but I lost a lot of the muscle I'd gained from being in all the sports I was doing at BYU Idaho. And so I had to get my dress altered a week before the wedding, which was a major panic moment. It was not fun. And then when I got pregnant, my first time, I wasn't working out at all because I was in school full time and my husband was working 2 jobs and just life is just crazy as a student and we were very poor. And so I didn't work out. And so when I had my kid, my daughter, I was suddenly, I think I was like 40 or 50 pounds overweight and I felt horrible, but I kind of just ignored it and just kind of kept pushing through because I was in school and my husband was working full time. And so I was like, what can I do? I can't really do anything about it. So I'm just going to keep going and get my degree. And then maybe I'll focus on it. And so I did that. I got my degree to be a teacher. And 2 weeks after I graduated, I got pregnant again. So I just didn't really have a chance to really try and get myself back into what I knew I needed to and what I loved doing. And then, he's calling. Sorry, my dad's calling. And then after I had my second baby, I was starting to actually feel depression, which I'd never felt my whole life. And my husband brought it up and he was like, are you okay? Do you have thoughts of hurting yourself? Because I guess he had a friend in high school whose mom jumped in front of a bus and so he was like really freaked out. He's like, I'm noticing these depression signs. What's going on? Are you okay? And was really worried about me. And before this, I wasn't happy with who I was. I hated my body and just didn't really know what to do about it. But I didn't really take the time to do anything about it because I was in school. So I just didn't think I had the time. And so by the time I had my second baby, I weighed 226 pounds, and where I should be, my ideal weight is 150. So I was pretty overweight and very miserable. And a couple weeks before, when my husband started noticing the depression, I was just laying on the couch watching TV all day, letting my kids play around me, and I had my little baby in the rocker, and I just nursed him when he needed me. And it's just, I had a laundry basket at the bottom of the stairs. So when I cleaned my house, all I had to do was just put things in the laundry basket. Then I'd have my husband carry it upstairs when he came home, because I did not want to climb those stairs if I did not have to, because it was so hard to climb the stairs. So my husband finally got me in touch with Ashley, who he knew through a friend from high school. And he was like, talk to her. And I had friends who had been in Beachbody and were coaches, and they had talked to me about it before. And I was just like, no, I'm in school, sorry. And I always told them no. I just didn't even give them a thought or a chance. I was just like, no, sorry. But Ashley's story like just resonated with me, because a lot of what she went through with high school and sports and everything was very similar to what I went through. And so it hit a chord with me. And I was like, yeah, maybe this Beachbody thing is something I should do. Maybe this is what I need to get me out of this rut, and to finally get my life back to where I want it to be. So I signed up with Ashley, and I signed up as a coach for the discount. I didn't really know what I was going to do with it. And then, I think it was the Monday the challenge group started. I went to the doctor for some thyroid issues, because there's this like lump on my thyroid that they wanted me to get checked out. And the doctor told me, you are in the third level of obesity or something like this, or something like that. You will never lose weight through exercise and diet. You need to stop nursing your kid. You need to decide to just not have kids anymore and get surgery or take the pill, or just, you need to do something. And I left that doctor just stunned and very, very depressed. Just called my husband, just bawling my eyes out, like, just how am I going to lose weight? What am I going to do? And he was just like, just do this thing you signed up with Ashley, just be completely committed to it, and just see where it takes you. I bet you can prove that doctor wrong. And I was like, yeah, I can prove that doctor wrong. And the first week of doing quarter force, I lost 5 pounds. And I was just like, I'm never going back to that doctor again. He was screwy. I don't even know. And I haven't even seen him again. So after that week, I was like, I can do this coaching thing. I think it's good it'll be good to share my story. And I did. I shared my story, and it was, I was working out every day. I was really consistent with working out, because that was my strength. That's what I love to do. And I shared with it every day. And after a while, I didn't really feel like I was getting any traction. I didn't feel like anybody was really caring about what I was sharing. And I didn't think I had anything to share with anybody, or that anybody could relate to me. And so after my first year, and my husband was like, okay, what do you want to do? You haven't really made a whole lot of progress. Do you want to keep going with this? Do you want to just be discount? Like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I need to keep going, because I know I can. I know, just deep down, I know that I can make a difference to somebody. And I kept thinking, what can I do to make a change? What can I do to really to start letting people see the difference in me, and sharing more of who I really am, instead of just being like, hey, I did my workout today. And that's where personal development kind of came in. And I really I'd read maybe 2 books in that year for personal development, because I kept being told to. Like, everybody kept saying like how important personal development was. I was like, okay, I don't have a whole lot of time to read, and I hate listening to books, so I'll try. And I got through 1 or 2 books in that year. In January, that's when I kind of really, this past January, I was like, I think that's really where I'm missing what I need. Like, that change that I need. And so I started to really listen to personal development. I got Audible with me and my husband share Audible, and I started like purchasing more books. And I think I have read maybe 10 books and listened to 5 more since January. And it has made such a huge difference in the way I think and in the way I feel. Like working out, yes, was amazing and made a very, very noticeable physical change, as you can see in my transformation pic. And I definitely felt a lot happier. I felt a lot more energy, but I just didn't really know how to share that. And I still would like come in contact with people and just feel very closed off. And I didn't really know how to bring myself forward and to show who I was and what I had to share. But within like the last 3 months, I've been actually like applying, like a couple other girls have talked about this, like when you're reading your personal development, you need to also apply it. And I read, the name just totally blanked, High Habits book. Anybody else remember the name? Not the 7 effective people, the Brandon Bouchard book. Okay. It's upstairs, or else I'd go grab it. But anyway, I read the book by Brandon Bouchard. If you remember the name, let me know. I'll check it out the chat. And I would sit down every day with that book. It took me a couple months to get through it because I was just digging into it. And I had my journal with me. I had that book with me every morning. And I was like writing in my journal, answering the questions that he gives in that book. And it just flipped something in my head. And I just feel like I've been a lot more present as a coach lately because of that, because of, yes, high performance habits. Thank you. Like it talks about like having like clarity in your life and to like write down your goals. And a lot of personal development talks about writing your goals down every day. But this one kind of was what really kind of made it stick, I guess. And so just by like clarifying what I wanted in my life and writing down those goals daily, it has kind of helped simplify things for me, I guess. And sorry, I was not planning on talking about this, by the way, and I feel like I'm rambling, so I'm really sorry. And it does have a point, I promise. By finding that clarity and simplifying things in my mind, it didn't necessarily simplify things in life, because what's going on in life, like being a stay-at-home mom and having to clean my house every day and get my workouts in every day and doing everything I need to as a coach, it can be a lot. But because I learned through that book how to plan out my day and to write my goals down and to just keep in mind and to have a view of what I wanted, it just simplified things for me. And it gave me courage to actually do what I wanted to do in life and how I wanted to coach. And then this is where it ties in. That is where I gained my purpose as a coach and who I wanted to reach. I want other women who are stay-at-home moms who go through that loss of identity that I went through to learn that it's okay to take care of yourself. Despite how hard life gets, taking care of yourself will help you get through those hard times, or help you get through, just being stressed that it's hard keeping your house clean with little kids running around. I mean, for most people, it's like, oh, that's not hard. it can be very stressful when that's the only thing you have as a stay-at-home mom. and just have, like, I want women to know that it is important to take care of yourself despite everything that is going on in your life. And so I just gained that purpose, and that really has elevated who I am as a coach, I guess. And I guess that is it for me for right now.
Thanks, Lisa. I just wanted to wrap it up with you guys. Say thanks for hopping on. Feel free to reach out to your coach, and with any questions, if you have questions now, feel free to unmute yourself or pop them in that chat for you. Just to end, a couple things that I want you guys to be aware of. This business is yours. So you can run as fast as you want. You can walk as slow as you want. There's no need for you to run if that's not your schedule. I have coaches that are full force and they are fully into their business, and I have some that just simply say, hey, if a girl buys, I'll have them buy from me and we'll throw them in a group. And that's the beauty of this business is it's yours. You get to control, and your coach will never push you in a direction you don't want to be pushed. With that said, we do have a tribe training page where you're going to learn everything that you need to be successful. And I will never promise you this $100 million paycheck in a week, but what I will tell you is if you apply what we teach you and you fully commit yourself into this, you will see success. And I can promise you that. If you are consistent and show up in this business, you see people from all ends of the spectrum who talk tonight, guys. Like, I've been in this almost 5 years, and I used to think that in these MLMs, they're a pyramid, which means you can never out-earn, outrank nothing, the coach above you. Not true. You see success. You see a girl who's paid her mortgage, okay? Like, she can make as much as I do or more. There's no limit, and you guys can earn, outrank anything more than like your coach that signed you up. And so understand that. Like I said, we have everything on our team. We have full-time moms. We have full-time moms and working moms that are, juggling everything in between. We have people who are in corporate America working this business. So what I want you to understand, there's no coach mold. Some people say, I'm starting this today, and I'm going to share my journey so other people know exactly what I'm doing. You don't have to be at your goal health weight to start coaching. There are several very, very, very successful coaches who start off, their fitness journey and coaching from day one. So realize, like, you don't have to be a size X to be a coach. You don't have to be a certain age. What is really cool, they talk about these cool events that we get to go to. You get to see people walk across the stage who are experiencing these successes, and you'll literally see a 70-year-old lady who is like working her business, walking across that stage because she's seen so much success in her business. I was blown away. I remember watching probably this 21-year-old guy, maybe 22, walking across the stage who had just made the $1 Million Club, which means he earned $1 million with Beachbody. And if I saw him on the street, I would think, get a life, man. He has his Pikachu hat on, big old jeans, and he's strutting there. I'm thinking, who am I? He's made over $1 million in how long in his business? And you would think, you would never look at him and be like, you are a success. But that's the cool thing, is there is no mold for a successful coach. All it is heart and hustle. If you want to make a difference in you, it starts with you. If you want to start, no matter your size or shape right now, you can do this. You can inspire others. The beautiful thing, everyone's like, oh, I know so many Beachbody coaches. I would never be successful. Guys, I will never reach people because I don't have similarities that you have. You are going to reach a whole different set of people because you walk different shoes than I've ever walked. And you got to hear that tonight. You had Lindsay who says, like, I've never struggled with being over 200 pounds. Guess what? Most of my clients have been over 200 pounds at one point in their life because that's my story. And so you're going to find those people. You know, I deal with a lot of other moms who dealt, you know, infertility and miscarriage. My coach has Crohn's disease, and so she talks about autoimmune, and that she's going to relate to those people that I don't understand what it's like to deal with Crohn's. You have a story, and your story is unique. So yes, there are tons of coaches. You're right. But we all have a purpose, and we all have a mission, and our stories are all different. As we come together, these girls right here, not my competition. Not my competition whatsoever. These girls are people who rise and inspire me every single day to put my best foot forward, to be a better me, to be a better mom, to be a better teammate, to be a better coach, to be a better wife. That's what this business is about. That's really the vision of Beachbody. So with that said, I'm going to let you guys hop off for the night. I really appreciate you guys hopping off. There's no questions. We, you know, like I said, reach out to your coach with any questions you guys have. And if you are ready to go, we'll get you going and see success and get your Shakeology paid for your first month of your business. So have a good night, guys.
Okay.